Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. And today I thought it would be fun to do a little story time video, a little blast to the past if you will, and I'll tell you about my first crush, my first love. And it's actually a really cute story, so you may shed a few tears by the end of this video. It is actually really sweet. I was thinking about it earlier today because I heard a song that I hadn't heard in years, and it like reminded me of her. A lot of things were coming back to me, and I've talked about her a couple of times on my channel over the years, but I've never really delved in too deep. I've never really got into the meat of it, never really gone too into the nitty-gritty, if you understand what I mean. And there may have been crushes before her, but I feel like she was a very significant one in my life that I've kind of always remembered. And I think it's probably because I was at that coming of age stage in my life. I was going from a boy to a man. I was learning how to use my little thing. It was a lot, like I was going through a lot, so it was a big deal. But anyway, this girl, she lived across the street from me in my childhood home, and her name was Kelly, and she was really beautiful. I remember her being super pretty, and she had like this long dark hair, and it was like really long, and she used to always have it in pigtails. I remember us playing out together when we were kids, and I remember her having Barbies in her garage. I don't know how I remember that, like of all things, but I remember that. And we were literally like 5 or 6 at this point. I was like 13 when I started to develop this crush on her, and I guess she was like a year younger than me, or maybe like, so she would have been like 12 or 13 as well. We did like play out together when we were like really young, like 5 or 6, and we weren't allowed to go outside the street. But we kind of, as we got older, we did kind of part ways and just stopped talking, to the point where I literally forgot about her almost. Like she was going out with her friends and I was going out with my friends, and we just kind of knew each other as neighbors, but like that was pretty much it. We hardly ever like saw each other. I would sometimes see her like on the way to school, because she used to walk to school and I used to walk to school too, but we went to completely different schools. There's this one occasion I remember very well, and this was like when the crush started, and me and my 2 friends were walking either behind, or we were walking behind them on this one occasion, and she and her friends were walking in front of us, and we were doing something like really stupid, like teenage boys, like catcalling them and being goofy, and they turned around, they're being all giggly and like thinking it's funny too. I remember very vividly, she was like the middle one, and in the like between the other 2 girls, and she turns around and she looks at me and she kind of lets onto me, and she did this, and I was just like that's so cute. I'm smitten. That was what ignited the little flame inside of me. I started to think, what is this? I feel feelings. It was no longer about like, oh, you're right, the titties in a Playboy magazine, too cool. Like, it was no longer like that. It was like I actually felt feelings. And she's one of the first girls that I recall feeling like that about. That was when I was developing actual feelings. So I was growing up, I was becoming a man. I started thinking about her more because she just kind of captured me with her beauty. Like, she was super beautiful. I would purposely leave at the same time she was leaving to go to school, just so that we could like see each other. And me and my friends would always like be either in front of them or behind them, and we would always like kind of goofily yell at each other, like, or like yell stuff to each other, like our group and their group. And it was just kind of childish and silly, but also really wholesome and sweet. Then I decided to confess. I had to tell my friends. I had to admit that I'm growing up now. I'm starting to get feelings for girls. I'm no longer interested in Hot Wheels cars. Now I'm starting to have feelings for girls. And they were very supportive. In fact, one of them, and this is kind of why I wanted to tell you this story, because it's super funny. Like, this is a really funny memory. And my friend, one of them, Kev, I decided to write her a love letter. And so I wrote this love letter, and I was too scared to go and post it through her door. So I got my friend, and I was like, will you go and do it for me? Like, they've got a dog. I don't know, like, I don't want to die. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So we did this. It was super late at night. Well, late, but we weren't supposed to be out that late, but it was like 11 p.m. So my friend Kev climbs, we come up with this strategy, right? So like, he's going to go in through the gate, go up to the door, post it through the door, and then like, instead of coming back out the gate, he's going to have to go and jump over the fence and then come out. And then I was hiding around the corner, around the street. So he did that, failed epically. He went around, because he was gonna knock too. Like, we really wanted her to get this letter. And so he went through the gate. The gate was a freaking disaster. It screeched and squealed and screamed and made all kinds of weird noises. And I was like, that is the loudest gate I've ever heard. So he walks through the gate, he goes up to the door. I'm sitting there like this, watching, like, Jesus, he's making so much noise. Why are you being so loud? He posts it through the door, through the mail slot, bangs on the door, and then he runs away from the door and tries to hop over the fence, trips and falls into the neighbor's yard, which the neighbors happen to see him, and yeah, it was just a problem. He runs around the corner. I'm just standing there in total, like, panicking because of everything that just happened. He was supposed to be going in stealth mode, and he just completely, like, I feel like he could have set off a bomb and it would have been quieter. It just made so much noise, and everyone's like, what's going on, what's going on? Neighbors are out, people are looking, what's going on? And she did message me on MSN Messenger to tell me that she got my letter and she thought it was really cute. That's the thing, like, we were so both, I guess, kind of too shy to ever talk to each other in person that we would talk on MSN, but not in person. I was too much of a shitbag to be doing that. But when I realized, like, okay, I'm dipping the toe, I'm testing the water, like, I'm just seeing if she likes it or not, and seeing that she did, I thought, okay, now it's time to step up my game. Now, I used to get an allowance, and then I would take that money, I would go to the store, I would buy all kinds of candy, and then I would go and take it to her, but I used to get my friend to go and do it because I was too much of a shitbag. So then what I did was, one day, I decided to strap on a pair of testicles. I said to my friend, you go knock, get her to come to the door. This was getting really late, like probably 10 p.m. I'm sure her parents were very happy with me. My friend Kev goes to the door, knocks. I'm hiding around the corner like a little pussycat, and I'm watching. I see her, I see the mom. She's like, Kelly, somebody here for you. She comes to the door. She's wearing a little cute robe, and it was so cute. And what the plan was that he was gonna, like, give her the candy and then say, like, that's from Mike, and then come back and then tell me what she said and if she's in love with me yet. But something unexpected happened. He came back to me and said, she wants you to go to the door. She's waiting for you. I just got freaked out. I'm gonna have a panic attack, and it happened so long ago, like 20 years ago. She wanted me to come to the door at 10 p.m. and she's in her robe. So I did, and I went over there, and she said to me, and she was just looking so beautiful in the door. I don't really remember what she said, but we talked for a while. Like, it was like 30 minutes. My poor friend was sitting around the corner, like, freezing cold because it was very cold. And she was just stood at the door talking to me on the porch. And I remember her saying, like, thanks for the candy. That's really sweet. And I was super nervous. Like, my heart was in my mouth. And, like, I don't know. I just had all these feelings. I was super in love. Like, I was smitten as a kitten. I remember, like, writing her a love song. Yeah, I did that. I don't think I ever performed it for her because I couldn't play any instruments at that time, and I couldn't even sing, so I think I just wrote it to her, like a love letter. I remember sitting on the foot of my bed writing that song with a big cheesy smile on my face, like I was so happy. But sadly, I had to move house, and I never saw her ever again. We had to move house. We moved to a different town, and I just never saw her again. And yeah, it's kind of sad that it didn't work out with us, but it was also really cute. Like, I just think back to that and how innocent and wholesome it was. It was just so adorable. It's just one of those things that's always kind of stayed in my head. And what's kind of weird is, like, I used to think of, like, scenarios of, like, running away with her. And when I told you guys about, like, Not Gonna Get Us by Tattoo and how it's, like, reminds me of a certain time in my life, one of the memories that it reminded me of was, like, I used to listen to that song and think about me and her running away together. It's just one of those things that I never told you about, but that's kind of why Tattoo, not, like, the whole reason. Tattoo was just, it meant something to me anyway, but that one particular song just kind of reminded me of her at the time. Like, I think Tattoo Not Gonna Get Us had just come out, and I was listening to it, and just imagining, like, me and her running away together, and I just thought that was really cute. But yeah, I just thought I would tell you guys that little, that sweet little anecdote. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comment section if you had any, like, childhood love stories, but that was mine. I just wish something would have worked out, but it was probably for the best that it didn't. But at the very least, I still have a very nice childhood memory, so that's kind of cute. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Smash a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and chase your dreams.